Okay, so this is my demonstration of the issue I'm having with my MSI GT60 battery. So this is the MSI GT60-2OD-092UK. So it has a quad-core i7 processor, and it also runs NVIDIA Optimus. So you can see just there, you can see the serial number, and you can see the model of the laptop that's ordered. So I actually have altogether 3 batteries, but I'm just showing 2 of them here. The top one that you see is the original battery. I actually sticker them up because having multiple ones, I don't want to get confused between the old and the new when I'm putting them in. So that's the original one, and you can actually tell it's the original because if I just shine a little light on it here, what you see is the rounded foot, which matches actually the foot on the bottom of the laptop here. So what I have here, this is the latest battery that was sent to me by IPC-Tech, and you can tell this is a reproduction because the foot on the bottom there is not the same as the original MSI. You have to forgive the mark in the centre. I originally stickered it up just so I knew it was the second battery, and I've removed that now. So this is the second battery that you've sent me, and I'm having the same problem with this one as I originally described, which is the laptop when it's under load. I have the issue of it effectively switching itself off. So it tends to work fine up to about maybe 50% reading in Windows if I'm just doing normal day-to-day tasks. But if I do something which is requiring load, then that's a problem. So I'm just going to set this down, and you can basically watch me while I just put in your battery. Okay, so this is your battery. I'm just going to fit that into the laptop there. Help me put it the right way around. And I will just, so it's clicked in, and I will just lock it. Okay, so I'll flip the laptop over, and for the moment I will plug in the power supply. I will plug in network, HDMI, and my usual USB connections when I'm home. So I'll power the laptop up, and hopefully you will see that starting to come on there. Okay, so it'll take a few moments to boot up, and I will probably briefly hide the camera while I log in. Okay, so you can see the laptop is now booted up there. So this is booted up onto the battery supplied by yourselves. Okay, so I'm just going to turn that around a moment. I'm going to log myself into the computer, and there we go, I'm back with my desktop now. Okay, so I will just put that there. You can see the laptop is booting up and logging in, which is absolutely fine. Now what I will do is I'll just change briefly the screen resolution so that things are a bit easier for you to see, and I can do that here, and so we'll make it nice and big, like so. Apply, keep changes, okay, and I'll get rid of this and also this. Okay, so what you can see here, hopefully, what I'm going to show you is just the battery. So you can see if I click here, what it says is 96% available, plugged in, not charging. Okay, so it's relatively normal for this laptop not to actually charge a battery up to 100%. I've sort of gotten used to that in the past 18 months that I've owned it, which is fine. The original battery used to do this, and it used to last anywhere up to about 4 hours on a single charge when just doing desktop tasks. Completely different story if I was gaming, but never mind. So This is your battery. It's currently plugged in and it's 96% available. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pull the power cable out the back. So usually what would happen if I did this is the laptop would recognize that, and actually if I just zoom back in, I'll have to refresh that window, but you can see now it says 96% remaining. Okay, so that's absolutely fine. Now for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm not going to run the battery down to 50% because that would take me forever, and well, I have a life. But I can demonstrate the issue I'm having with the battery in another way. So the easiest way for me to demonstrate that is actually to put the laptop under a little bit of load. Okay, so for my sins, I'm quite a fan of World of Warcraft. Now if I boot up a 3D accelerated game, that will also kick in the NVIDIA Optimus on this laptop. So it runs the second graphics card for 3D applications. So if I do that and run World of Warcraft, you can see there it started to launch and the laptop has actually switched off. Okay, and this is the issue that I've been facing with the laptop. My assumption is that when the laptop draws additional current to run the NVIDIA Optimus, there's obviously the issue then that the battery is not giving enough power. And that's the only rational reason I can think of from the top of my head. So now I also need to demonstrate that this is not an issue with the original battery. So if you bear with me one moment, I will show you the original battery and its performance. So I have to disconnect everything here. The power cable is detached. Flip the laptop over and I will remove the battery that you supplied. Okay, so this here, hopefully you can see, this is my original battery I supplied with the laptop. It is actually about 18 months old, hence me wanting a new battery, because now it probably gives me about 2 to 2.5 hours on a single charge, and it used to be about 4.5, which was far more useful for me as I use the laptop heavily. I am plugging also the power cable in here. Okay, so now the issue that while this is booting up, the issue that I described just now with your battery, this also happens if the battery is below 50%. Generally speaking, if I unplug the power cable, the laptop immediately powers down as well. So there are two issues, but I can only actually demonstrate one of those issues currently without taking up a lot of my time. So you can see now that the laptop is booted back up. It's plugged in at the moment and it's running from the original battery. Okay, so I will just turn this away once more and I will log myself in. Okay, so login was successful. You can see back again. Okay, so this is with my original battery from MSI, and if I just show you onto my laptop, there we go. You can see actually I've just been using this battery. It's 25% available, plugged in, charging. Okay, so I wouldn't expect it to last. I wouldn't expect the battery to last particularly long at the moment, but it will suffice for showing you the issue that I'm facing. So if I just put that there, obviously I want to show you exactly the same situation, and so I will do that. So get rid of that and get rid of that. So if I yes, the other problem as well is that I have to turn this away briefly. The other problem I have, of course, is that because the laptop turns itself off, suddenly it quite often loses my information of whatever it was I was working on at the time. But never mind. So if I log in there to Battle.net, sorry, it will take a little moment to run the game. Okay, so I can do that, and now I can click play. Okay, so I've clicked play, it's loading the game. Ah, no, my apologies, I've forgotten to do something here. Okay, let me close that. Let me close that. Okay, there we go. Now, the reason I closed it is because obviously I've forgotten to unplug the power lead. So, power lead now unplugged. Wouldn't be a fair test if I did this. Now you can see that the you can see here, yep, that we're on 29% and we're not on charge anymore. Okay, so now it would be a fair test. I will click play, and once more you'll see World of Warcraft run. Okay, so game runs. We've gotten further already than we did before. Great, and now I can have the game running. Okay. Now, I've probably got the laptop in low power mode or something similar, so it won't be great. But there we go. Okay, so game runs, no problem whatsoever. I can run about, I can jump about, and basically with the laptop using this battery, it will basically run down to about 10% before the laptop powers down, and again that's probably due to the fact that the battery is quite old now. But I use this laptop day in, day out. This battery is fine, as you can see, and it seems to be just the battery here that you supplied me that's given me the issue. I know that you supplied me 2 batteries, and I'm very grateful for you trying that, but I basically experiencing the same problem with both batteries, which is a bit of a nuisance for me. So I hope that is enough illustration of the actual problem. Sorry for the length of the video, but I'm quite busy, so I don't have too much time to edit it. Okay, so thanks very much, and if I can help you any further with this issue, and hopefully if you can resolve the issue, I will be more than grateful. Thanks very much.